Hi everyone, Father Joe here with an update on 2021 here at Good Shepherd in Asheboro. As we turn the corner into a new year, I will be taking a 10-week sabbatical, taking a step away from active ministry for a time of rest and refreshment, to write and retreat and a number of other things as part of my own self-care. But Good Shepherd will be in very good hands during that time. Our curate, the Reverend Joe Sroka, will be available if anyone is in need of pastoral assistance, as will our retired deacon, Jack Ogburn, members of our vestry, as well as Martha Bristow, our parish secretary. So please feel free to contact any of them if you have any questions, comments, or concerns of any kind over the next 10 weeks. Also, with this turn into the new year comes a change in our online worship. Since August, we have been offering a service of spiritual communion that has been pre-recorded early in the week and then airing as a live video on Sunday mornings. The service has been deeply meaningful for many of us who have so missed receiving the sacrament of the Holy Eucharist. We've learned what it means to receive the sacrament ocularly with our sense of sight, in spite of being unable to get it with our sense of taste. But as we hope and pray and move toward a day when we can all return to worshiping together, we will be making a move away from pre-recorded liturgies and into live-streamed services beginning this Sunday, January 3rd, with the second Sunday in Christmastide. Our service will air live from the sanctuary at Good Shepherd and will be a service of the Holy Eucharist and spiritual communion. I say the Holy Eucharist and spiritual communion because there will be a small number of folks who will be gathered in person to receive the Holy Eucharist. These will include vested ministers, ministers of music, etc. And for those who are gathered physically in the space, they will take part in the sacrament with their sense of taste, while all of you watching at home will take part with your sense of sight. Those familiar prayers of spiritual communion that we have been offering in recent months will also be a part of this service. But it is important for us not only to be gathered together at the same time to be worshiping collectively, but it also matters that the sacrament is being celebrated and that it is being shared with the faithful physically, even if everybody cannot be there to do so. So we will be offering the Eucharist for those small number of folks who are in attendance, while those of you at home will celebrate spiritual communion. And as always, an order of service will be available in the description of the video so that you can follow along. This gathering of people, of course, means that we will be diligent in maintaining our COVID protocols as part of our regathering plan. Masks will be worn by all participants, including our preacher and our ministers of music. Physical distancing will be exercised, and screening questions will be asked of anyone who is present and part of that service. This service will start in stage 1B, which is the same stage of our 4-stage regathering plan that we have been in since August. Now, stage 1B allows for in-person gatherings, but no more than 10 people. We will be beginning with 6 people for that service based on our local numbers. Stage 1B also does allow for outdoor gatherings of up to 25 people, and when the weather picks up a little bit, you might be seeing Mass on the grass come back a little bit sooner than it has in years past. As for a move to stage 2, which is of course a return to in-person gatherings of up to 25 people, well, that will again be determined by our local numbers. The numbers here in Randolph County continue to rise, unfortunately, but with a COVID vaccine now available, we have hope that sometime in the next few months we will make that move to Stage 2. We will await word from our diocesan leadership for permission to do so, and when that permission is granted, we will then monitor our local numbers to make sure those allow us to go forward. A reminder that our metrics for moving to Stage 2 and to a gathering of 25 people in person are that the positive test rates fall below a 6.5% average over a 2-week span. Also, that the rate of new COVID cases, hospitalizations, and deaths begin to flatten out. Once those metrics reach their appropriate levels, then a move to Stage 2 will be shared, and we will inform you of all of the preparations for that move, including signing up for worship and how you will be able to go about doing that, and all of the safety protocols involved with coming back together for our worship. So stay tuned to our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and our church website, goodshepherdashboro.org, for continuing updates. If you haven't already, we invite you, please, to follow us on our social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also sign up to be on our email list by going to Good Shepherd Ashboro, and down at the bottom of the screen you will see a sign-up form, and you can just fill that out and be part of our mailing list to receive any further updates. And so as we begin a new year, we begin it knowing that the God who has been with us through this season of exile in 2020 will continue to be with us as we move closer and closer to that promised time, a time when we can return to be with one another, to do the work that the church is called to do together, the work of prayer, the work of being formed, the work of sharing the sacraments, and the work of spreading the good news that the kingdom of God has come near. But remember, brothers and sisters, that the church is so much more than a building. And as we go into this new year, uncertain of exactly how it's all going to play out and when that promised time is going to come, we know that that same work of being formed, that work of sharing the good news, is work that we are all called to in all times and all places, whether we are in a church or a part of the gathered assembly or not. May you continue in that work in your own homes. Remember that Good Shepherd offers an assortment of Zoom gatherings from formation time to online coffee hour and other fellowship gatherings. And utilize those online worship opportunities, as not only Sunday morning, but also our Wednesday noonday prayer will continue in its current format of being live streamed each week. It has been a difficult season, to say the least, over these last 10 to 12 months. But we have waded through this wilderness together, and we will get through together. God did not abandon God's children in those 40 years in the wilderness before they reached the promised land. God did not abandon God's children in the 70 years of exile in the land of Babylon. And God has not and will not ever abandon us. May 2021 bring you peace, joy, new possibilities for the ways that God will move in your lives. I covet your prayers during my sabbatical time and hope that you know that you will remain in mine. And until we see one another again, may you be held in the palm of God's hand.